It's Arlo time! Hey everyone, welcome to Princess of Gay. I'm your host Connie, and today we are here with I Heart Arlo. So, for those who may not know or may not remember, in March of last year, I posted a reaction to a Netflix film called Arlo the Alligator Boy. It's an animated movie about, well, an alligator boy who grows up in the swamp with an adoptive parent and goes to the big city to find his father. And along the way, he meets a cast of very colorful, very interesting characters, including a little cat girl voiced by Haley Ju, um, and a larger lady voiced by Miranda Lambert. The movie, and I presume this series as well, is a musical and was pretty good. It wasn't perfect; it had some issues, but it was pretty good. I did really enjoy it. There's a lot to love about it, and it's charming. It's fun. It's cute, and I have been wanting to see this series ever since to follow up on the film. The series is one season and it's 19 episodes. And yeah, I assume this is all there is. I never heard anything about a cancellation with this series. But I'm very interested to see how they follow up on the film and where the story starts to go now that the group has their new home and everything. So hopefully this ends up being really good. For those who may not know who Haley Chu is, the voice of the cat girl, she is also known for voicing a certain nerdy autistic character named Marcy Wu on Amphibia. And she's very recognizable. Like you can tell it's her because that's just her voice. Like I've heard interviews with her and it's like that's just her voice. And I'm I'm very curious to see like and I guess to hear if she expands on things a little bit in her performance in this series. I would love to see more range from her, like doing like different kinds of things with her voice. Um, because we got a little bit of that in Amphibia, but nowhere near enough. And I guess part of that comes down to Darcy not being there long enough. So yeah. Um, but I'm very interested to hear her performance in this. I don't know what kind of new characters are going to be introduced in this. I don't know like if there's going to be any like guest voices or whatnot. I assume with 19 episodes there probably will be. I just don't know who would be in it. I haven't heard like any opening for this or whatnot, so I'm going into this completely fresh, outside of just knowing the movie. And yeah, this is taking over the Monday slot for now. For those who may be confused and may not have heard for whatever reason, we are taking a break from One Piece. One Piece will be back, but it's at that point where it's like I need a little bit of a break from it. I think we hit it at the right time, pretty much. Maybe an episode earlier would have been better, but it's not that I was getting burnt out on the series or anything because of reacting to it like so consistently for so long. It's more along the lines of I want to like take a break before I even get to that point, and I could feel like I was going to get to that point soon. So I just wanted to kind of get ahead of the game there. And this has happened before. It's not the first time we've taken a break from One Piece. It just means that when we come back, we'll get to like some multi-episode videos to catch up, and then we'll eventually be caught up, you know. We might not even do all of our I Heart Arlo in one go. We might like take a break from that and then come back to it at a later point. And then just go back to One Piece when we do take a break from Arlo. I don't know. I think the episodes are around like 11 to 15 minutes long each, unless there's like some double length episodes or something in there. So it's not like it's long. We might also be able to just combine episodes. We'll see. We'll tackle that as we get to it and everything. I think that'll be the best option here. So for the time being, let's just get into this and see what this first episode of I Heart Arlo gives to us. Cutting in here real quick to remind you that we have a lot of great content to check out on the channel. Between Monday and Friday, we have a plethora of awesome series reactions with 2 on Friday. We also have movie reactions every Saturday and Sunday, as well as Let's Plays every day of the week. We switch on and off every day between Horizon and Baldur's Gate 3 and have Animutationum on Saturdays. Please don't forget to click the link in the description below to follow it to today's reaction. We redirect everything just due to copyright. And also, don't forget to like and subscribe to the video and the channel, respectively. And I hope you have a great time with today's reaction. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. So, I know it was made clear here, and it's something like I didn't entirely put together at first, but it was made clear here that Birdie was like trying to get her alone time and everything because she was insecure and, you know, had trouble like connecting to people, which we did see in the movie. That very much is a thing from the movie that carried over. Once that was touched upon here, that clicked better with me. But at the same time, I do kind of feel like they could have slipped in a message at the end that sometimes people value their alone time as well. It's like, oh yeah, you could still have them like, you know, open the double apartment up and, you know, live together and everything. That's fine. But maybe she could have just like sat down with Arlo and told him, it's like, there will be times when I'll just want to be alone. And I think that would have been a good lesson to teach to the kids and even adults who would watch this. Because it's like, and this is again coming from someone who, like I said in the reaction, I have had trouble with this. I have struggled with this very problem because, like Arlo, I am a very outgoing person. I'm shy. I'm quiet. If you ever like met me in real life, I'm very shy. I'm very quiet. I don't talk a lot, and I have a hard time with communication. But that's just because I'm autistic. I'm really not good at that. But I love being around people. I love going to like parties with friends. I love going to conventions. I love just hanging out with people, even if I'm not like the most vocal or active person. Or I just like to be around people. And like I said in the reaction, it's very hard for me to accept not being around people. And like, for example, most weeks, I don't do anything with anyone. Outside of going to church, like on Sunday mornings, most of the time I just sit here talking to you guys through the camera or through messages and whatnot, and on Discord or whatever, comments on the channel, stuff like that. I don't go out most of the time because, you know, lack of being able to drive and other people just, you know, having lives. And it's something I have to deal with. It's something that I have to, like, live with. But it's hard. Like, even my sister, like, I only see her once a week. And some people might say, like, oh, you see her once every week? That's a lot. And it's like, no, it's not. Not for me. Not for an extrovert like me who like craves social interaction constantly, it's not a lot. It's a lot to other people who are good with their alone time, but I'm not. And that's the thing I struggle with, because I don't want to be alone pretty much ever. And other people do want to be alone at times. And it's something I have a hard time with, because I I would, if I got my way, I would be spending time with friends, my sister, just someone every single day. And it doesn't have to be like all day long, but at least every single day, at least for a little bit. But it's important to realize that different people are going to have different needs for that. And we can't just force people to abide by our needs. And that goes for any side of this. Extroverts like me can't force people to spend time with us. And introverts shouldn't force people to, like, just be alone, I guess you could say. There has to be some kind of balance there, and it's really hard to do. It really is. And it's like, I don't know. And it's like, I know it's like I live with my father and everything, but he's only home at night, and honestly, it's like I'm pretty much alone even when he is here. It's really only when my sister is here that I have like any sense of like being around someone, and I don't count the dog because that's a dog. So it's like it's just difficult, and again, it's like that's the one thing I would change about this episode. Just have at the end her telling him that she might need some alone time sometimes. Because otherwise it unfortunately comes across like, and I don't think this is like the intent, but it unfortunately comes across like it's trying to force this message that, oh, you shouldn't be introverted. You should just force yourself to spend time with others and to just be around others all the time. And it's just like, that's not a good message at all. But again, I don't think it's trying to say that. I don't think that's any level of intent here. It's just an unfortunate, an unfortunate, unintended message that comes along with just how this is presented. But that's really the only negative I can say about this episode. The song at the end was really good. It was a very enjoyable song with, great singing, because the same VAs from the movie were back, and they are great singers. um the episode's pacing and all was fine. I had no issue with it. It didn't feel like it went by too fast. It didn't feel like it was too slow. And I will say that it basically does kind of require you to have seen the movie first. This is absolutely a follow-up to the film in a way where it's like you don't even really get introduced to anyone. Like, yeah, the opening kind of shows all of the characters, and then you get to see all of them in this episode, but it doesn't actually introduce you to them. It expects that you already know, like, their character, their personality, their names, everything. And I'm fine with that because I've seen the movie. I'm all good with that. But I feel like there might be some people who go into this series and will just be super fucking confused. Because maybe they'll have seen the series on Netflix and not seen the movie, and it's like, oh, there's this series on Netflix? This looks pretty interesting. I'll check this out, or put this on for my kids, or something like that. But not realize that there's a movie that, explains everything. Because it's like at the even at the end here, it's like, oh, this is a package from, what was it, Esme, I think? Esme. And it's like, people who are watching this are going to be like, who the fuck is Esme? It doesn't explain that in this. People aren't going to know who Esme is and know that she was Arlo's, um, what's the word? Guardian. Guardian from the swamp and everything. And it's like, they're not going to understand that relationship and why Arlo is here now. It'll make absolutely no sense to most viewers unless they've seen the movie. So it's like, yeah, it does require that homework. Because, again, it is a direct continuation. The series is a follow-up to the film. And I'm fine with that, but it might confuse some people. Just saying. They could have at least had a little bit more of an introduction to each character here. But again, it's not really an issue I have with the episode. It's just a note. The art and animation was great. It definitely looked just as good as I remember the movie being. Maybe the lighting is a little different, but that's usually how it goes. Movies have a little bit better of a budget, so the lighting and shading and stuff are better. But other than that, it still looks like really good. The voice performances are fantastic. I like the idea for the plot and everything. And even if my main issue here is just not adding that little bit in at the end, this is a good kind of topic to touch on, specifically for the first episode of this series, because this is exactly where it should start from following up on the movie. Because at the end of the movie, this is what happened. Arlo's father helped them build this little seaside community and everything, and that's kind of where the movie ended, with this community being built. And so now this series starts off with like, oh, Arlo is getting used to how things are, different here. He's adjusting to this new community. It's like, that's exactly where it should start. And with him, like, having to learn that things aren't always going to go according to exactly how he wants them. Though again, they could have just like put that in a little more. I mean, I guess the message is still kind of there, but it just should have been actually stated, I feel, because especially for kids, they're not going to get it as much. But yeah, overall, I think this was a good start. I think it could have been better, admittedly, but it was still a good start, and I'm very interested to see where this continues to go. Now, like I said, it's like around 11 to 15 minutes or so for each episode, and it's 19 episodes. So we'll probably do multi-episode videos as we go along. I can't say for sure. I can't like promise specifics on that, but it'd be like Adventure Time when we react to that. It'd probably be like 2 to 3 episodes on average. We'll see how it goes, and we'll just take it week by week. I just did one episode this first week just because usually that's what I tend to do for the most part. And I just felt like I wanted to just get back into this with just one episode. So, that being said, tell me in the comments below, what are your thoughts on this first episode of I Heart Arlo? What did you think of the plot, of the, I guess, message of the episode, the song? Let me know your thoughts on the song and all the vocal performances. Yeah, just let me know what you think, and thank you so much, as always, for tuning in. For now, I'm Connie, and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.